Welcome to another episode of FormCast. Today, I really want to talk about something that has been on my mind ever since I started streaming, pretty much, maybe a couple months in. Are the majority of viewers on your stream, let's say Twitch specifically, are they, the majority of them, small streamers themselves? I really want to talk about this. I think it is a huge barrier to growth, to exposure, to everything if the majority of our viewers are streamers themselves. And I say small streamers, let's say anywhere from 100 and viewers below, let's say. Let's take the view count for size comparison. Just remember, folks, size isn't all that matters. That's another topic for another episode, probably not on this podcast. So I don't bring up the fact that the majority of our viewers are streamers themselves in the idea of they only watch you to gain some form of clout, attention, exposure, shout outs, whatever it may be, for their own channel. Now, yeah, there might be some people like that out there, but at the end of the day, that's not what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the small things of the fact that when a streamer goes and watches a stream and they are a streamer themselves, there's a lot of things that can impact the time spent in other streams, or maybe the ability to return to a stream, for example. Thinking about it like this off the top of my head, I'm thinking something like you have a streamer. They're a small streamer. They stream for to 10 people, let's say. They watch a lot of streams. They decide eventually, I'm no longer streaming. It's not for me. I just don't have the time. It's not something that I enjoy anymore, whatever reason they want. That streamer only watched streams because they were on Twitch because they are a streamer. And I can say that if I was to ever quit streaming, leave the industry, I probably wouldn't spend much time watching streams. I never did before. I probably wouldn't if I wasn't streaming. I only found Twitch because I wanted to stream. Never watched streams before ever in my life, anywhere, Facebook, YouTube, or anything like that. And this was just when the pandemic started, 2020. So there's one thing that makes it hard. You know, you're a streamer. You're trying to get, people to see your content and share it with everybody. Your views are going up. But if 90% are streamers, 95% of them are small streamers, and a few of them decide, I'm not using the platform anymore, you're going to lose those for sure, right? When people are streamers themselves, I think one of the big things that a lot of people do is, I've never done it myself just because I just don't think I could, spare the attention. But when they're live, they'll tab up streams, right? Great way of supporting people by having their stream up, by engaging a little bit, saying like, hey, I'm lurking. Hey, hope the games are going in. Hey, just checking in, whatever it may be, while they're streaming, because maybe their chat is not as busy, or it's just what they do. It's what they enjoy. That's fine. But as I think any small streamer would tell you, is the view count is one thing, but if you have people chatting, it makes it that much more fun, that much more better. The content is better, the interactions are better, and it just kind of grows the community that much more because it's a very chatty place to be, and people can chat with themselves, like amongst each other, plus the streamer. But a lot of streamers will obviously tab you up and not chat, which can affect your stream. I personally think, I recently tweeted this out asking, and I think a lot of people said probably at least like 80% and up. But there are a lot of streamers out there, and there's a lot of viewers, of course. But I swear there's probably 90 to 95% of your viewership, whatever your viewership is at, is probably a streamer themselves in some capacity. Maybe not a full time, maybe not 5 days a week, maybe only 3, maybe 2, maybe 1 day a week. But they do stream, right? So that takes time. Streaming takes time, surprisingly, right? I think it's very good to understand, very, very smart to understand the fact that there's going to be a lot of people that just don't watch streams enough because they stream themselves. And that's a plain old fact. I don't have time to watch streams because I stream 5-6 hours a day myself. Then I got family. Then I got my work. I got my job. Then I got to do this. I got sports. I got a life. I got friends. All these things, right? So at the end of the day, you're kind of left with these people who can only pop in once in a while, and that's perfectly fine. I've always said this maybe not always, for a long time now. I've said the golden viewer, the golden ticket viewer is literally just somebody who watches Twitch or your stream, wherever you are, but watches Twitch just to watch, right? We all hope that they find our content one day, or we find them through our socials and all that kind of stuff, and you know, communicating in some other ways, connecting through whatever means it may be possible. That's the golden viewer, right? Unfortunately, though, I think nowadays, especially because of the pandemic, there are tons of streamers out there. Viewers became streamers. I've seen it happen myself. I've had really regular viewers turn to streamers, right? Turn into a streamer. So they see people doing it. They see you doing it. They see other people talking about it. They're in the Discord. Other people are doing it. They're watching more streams and seeing that, wow, like I can probably do this myself, you know, like, or I want to try it out. And then they do, which is great. I love seeing more people getting into the industry. The unfortunate side of thing is when a viewer, simply a viewer, becomes a viewer/streamer, their view time will definitely go down versus the fact that they now stream, let's say, 4 hours a day for 3 times a week. Maybe their schedule is literally the same time that you're live because that's what works for them. You're definitely going to lose people, right? I've always said streaming is a revolving door, and I've always compared it to this. I've always compared it to a hotel lobby, and it's a revolving door. Those circle doors that I swear one of these days I'm going to get stuck in one. I'm going to trip. I'm going to fall. There's someone, like an old person is going to be pushing the thing behind me, or like a 5-year-old child, and I swear I'm going to get stuck in these things. Another episode. It's a hotel lobby. People come through the circle door, and some of them go inside the hotel lobby. And some of them have been sitting down for a while. They're enjoying the coffee from the Keurig, the Tassimo, or whatever. I don't drink coffee, so don't blame me. They're enjoying maybe some GFUEL or some energy drinks of their sorts in the fridge. They've been there for a while. Those are your regular viewers. Then there's people that are in the lobby walking around checking things out. Those are the people that are in your stream. Let's say if you stream 5 days a week, they're in there 3 times a week. They're there pretty regularly. They're walking around, hanging out, chatting with Joe, who's enjoying his Tassimo espresso latte venti mochaccino latte caramel crunch extra ice. Is that an ice drink? I don't know. Could be a warm one. Then you've got the people that are stuck in the door, right? They never leave the rotating circle door of death, let's call it. But in this case, there are people that are there once a while, once a week, or so like that, right? But then you got everybody on the outside of your hotel. There's windows. Your windows are called TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Discord. There's windows, and people want to look into the windows, and those are the people that are seeing your content other than your live streams, right? And they kind of just, get little glimpses of like, oh, that's what's going on in there. Oh, is that Timmy on the couch drinking a Tassimo with Frank? Like there's a lot of that, right? So it's a revolving door. So as soon as you get viewers that are just viewers, you absolutely fall in love with the fact that they just watch streams. And this is not to downplay the streamers because you're a streamer yourself. That'd be kind of hypocritical and just ridiculous to do. But if a viewer becomes a streamer, you will most likely lose their watch time quite a bit, which means you lose viewership, right? Which means you might lose a partnership. You might lose a brand deal. You might become mentally drained by the fact that you're losing viewers. And let me tell you, I think next week we might talk about the mental ups and downs of streaming. There's a whole lot to talk about that. But nonetheless, you might lose some people, right? So that's why it's a revolving door, because there's always new people that needs to come in. And the people that are watching through the window, seeing your content, that's the people who you want to try and get through the revolving door into the lobby and enjoying a Tassimo espresso venti latte mochaccino latte extra caramel with a ribbon crunch with Frank and Timmy on the couch. I think a lot of viewers are small streamers themselves. I think there is a certain point as a streamer, content creator, where your viewership grows so big that even if they are small streamers themselves, they will make a point to come and watch your stream. 100%. I think we all dream of that. I think we really do. But in the small streamer community, small streamer world, as big as it is, it's very, very tiny. I'm sure you could, if you're listening to this and you're a small streamer, you could probably attest to that. But I think it's really high, the percentage of people that are streamers compared to simply viewers. And like I said, not because of them only wanting to be in your stream for clout and attention and to grow their own thing, but I think there's so many factors that will pull them away from you eventually, because they just invest more time in their own craft, which is fine, which is perfect. Go get it, right? That was me. I went and got it, right? And I spend far less time watching streams now than I do before. So I kind of use myself as an example. If I ever see someone that's always in my streams and then all of a sudden, like 3 months later, they're just gone. They're just disappeared, or they show up once in a while, right? It's always something that happened. It's never you. You're never the reason. You're not. Your content is not, usually the reason. And if it is, well, you probably will never know, unless you reach out to them and ask, and they're brutally honest with you. But that's why, that's another thing, is you always got to be creative and entertaining and find different ways to entertain people. You are a TV show, so if you want to keep those viewers, you got to work on it. But I'd be curious to see what you guys think. I think there's a high majority of people that watch streams that are small streamers themselves, especially during COVID, where everybody was stuck at home and realized that streaming was a thing. And there's a lot of people that said, like, well, maybe I can make a couple bucks, right? And they started streaming and all that. But streamers do quit, and that means they might not watch streams anymore when they do quit. They might have a similar schedule to you when they start streaming, which means they can't be in your stream. They might only be straight up lurkers, which we love our lurkers. So thank you for that. But they won't be able to chat too much. They might eventually just have no time. And that's perfectly fine. That means they're doing well, or doing what makes them happy. So at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of people that watch streams that are streamers, but we love every single person that comes in. I actually encourage, if you're a streamer, now this is in my stream. Don't yell at me if you go, hey, you say, Form, I went to a stream and I kind of asked, about streaming and stuff, and I said I was a streamer, and then I got yelled at for self-promo. That's not how I do it in my stream, so be careful, be cautious of who you go to say that you are also a streamer. But I think it's super cool that when a streamer can go to a stream and talk about streaming. So I think at the end of the day, you should be able to talk about streaming with other streamers in their chat, because I think it's a great way to interact and keep a conversation going in a stream. But I swear, I think it's like 95% of your viewers are probably small streamers themselves. So it's something to keep in the back of your mind, to be honest, while you're streaming, to make sure that you are kind of just remembering that you might lose some of these people, and maybe the reasons they're lurking is because they're going live. Maybe the reason they don't chat ever is because they're live while you're live, but they still want to have your stream up. So there's a lot of different reasons, and I don't want to focus on the negative aspects of people only going to your stream to grow their own stream, which is fine. Go ahead. That's perfectly, fine if that's what you want to do. But people can leave because they quit. Schedule matches up with yours. They're only lurkers. They're not chatting. They just don't have the time anymore because their stream is growing. There's so many different reasons. But it's just something that I want to talk about, because I think it's a super kind of not talked about fact that a lot of small streamers have small streamers as viewers, and that's perfectly fine because we love every single person, right? But it can affect you down the road. Nonetheless, happy to talk about it. If you have any comments about it, or feedback or opinions about the topic, and you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you go to the YouTube video, youtube.com/LXFormidableXL, and we upload all our YouTubes on all our podcasts, on YouTube, and we make sure that we do it on a weekly basis. So next week we'll talk about something else. We'll see you then, folks. Cheers. Go eat a burrito.